They had done this before. They had seen people break. They had watched others lose everything after being cast aside. So why would you be any different? There will always be hell to pay when going against a chosen one. They had no idea what they had just done, because you were never meant to be played with. They are about to learn there is always hell to pay when you betray a chosen one. The universe is patient, but it is not blind. Every action carries weight. Every betrayal has a price. When they moved against you, they thought they were acting in secret, that their deception would dissolve into the background of life. But the unseen world does not miss a single detail. Do not be deceived. God cannot be mocked. A man reaps what he sows, Paul declares in Galatians 6:7. They ignored this law. They believed they were above consequence, above retribution, above the forces that keep balance in this world. But they were wrong. Because when someone moves against a chosen one, they are not just harming a person, they are interfering with divine order. You were placed here for a reason. Your steps are guided. Your purpose is protected. To attack you is to attack the blueprint of something much greater than them. And the moment they made that choice, their fate was sealed. They didn't see it at first. The unraveling happens slowly, a shift in luck, a creeping instability, a weight they can't shake. But there is no escaping it. They thought they could bend reality to their will, manipulate outcomes, rewrite the story in their favor. But divine law is not subject to their schemes. Their suffering is not revenge. It is not punishment. It is simply justice. They thought it was harmless. A small lie, a subtle manipulation, a quiet act of sabotage, barely noticeable in the grand scheme of things. To them it was nothing personal, just strategy. A co-worker withholds a key piece of information so you miss a deadline, thinking they'll secure the promotion instead. A so-called friend twists the truth just enough to turn others against you, hoping to dim your shine. A family member watching your rise spreads a carefully crafted lie to make sure no one celebrates your success. It was all so calculated, so effortless. They have done it before, and each time they got away with it. But this time, something different happened. The moment they moved against you, something shifted. A ripple in the unseen, a weight pressing into the air around them. The energy they so carelessly disturbed turned on them. Because this was not just another petty betrayal. This was a violation of divine order. They didn't betray just anyone. They interfered with a chosen one. They didn't just twist the truth. They tried to rewrite a path that was never theirs to alter. And to the universe, they just signed their own spiritual contract. One that cannot be erased, one that cannot be undone. The crime is recorded, the consequence is set, and the hand of justice is already moving. At first, they celebrate. They believe they got away with it. They pat themselves on the back, gloating over their so-called victory. In their mind, they outsmarted you, outplayed you, took what they wanted without consequence. Their position seems stable. Their reputation remains intact. Their grip on the situation feels absolute. But something is off. They expected to feel satisfaction, triumph, even relief. But instead, there's a gnawing emptiness, a void where their joy should be. The victory doesn't taste as sweet as they imagined. They try to ignore it, convincing themselves that this unease is nothing, that they simply need time to adjust to their new reality. But deep down, in the quiet corners of their mind, they know. They were never meant to have it. What they stole, whether it was your success, your trust, your peace, was never theirs to take. And the weight of that truth begins to settle in. They notice little things first. The excitement fades too quickly. The validation they sought doesn't last. They look around for the fulfillment they expected, but it never comes, because they didn't earn this. They stole it, and what is stolen does not bring peace. They can't sleep the way they used to. Their thoughts start to wander back to you. The one they stepped on, the one they deceived, the one they thought would fall and never rise again. But you're still standing. Your energy is untouched. Your spirit remains unshaken, and they feel it. The universe does not reward those who interfere with divine order, and whether they admit it or not, they know something is coming. Their downfall does not happen in an instant. It starts with this: a growing unease, a lingering discomfort, the realization that the moment they moved against you, they signed their own fate. And now it's only a matter of time. It starts subtly. At first, they brush it off. A missed detail here, a moment of confusion there, a forgotten deadline, a miscalculated move, an awkward silence where confidence used to be. They tell themselves it's just stress, just bad luck, just one of those weeks where nothing seems to flow. But this isn't just a bad week. It's the beginning of a pattern. One moment, they're in control, strategizing, manipulating, moving pieces on the board. The next, everything slips through their fingers. They lose focus. The sharpness they once relied on fades, replaced with constant mistakes, bad decisions, and embarrassing slip-ups they can't explain. They lose connections. The people who once hung on their every word suddenly pull away. Conversations feel forced. Support vanishes. Those who once cheered for them now watch from a distance, uncertain, uninterested. They lose control. Plans backfire. Efforts collapse. The harder they try to regain their footing, the faster the ground crumbles beneath them. And worst of all, they can't even explain why. They wake up each morning feeling drained, not just tired, but exhausted at the soul level, like something unseen is pressing down on them, like they are fighting against a force they can't name, the same force they unleashed when they came against you. They don't realize it yet, but they are experiencing the energy shift of consequences. Not karma in the way they imagined it, not some instant bolt of retribution. This is spiritual gravity. What they threw into the universe is now orbiting back toward them, stronger, heavier, unavoidable. They were so sure they could move against you and walk away unscathed, but the laws of balance say otherwise. Their life is becoming an unsolvable puzzle, one they will never be able to put back together. They say the truth will set you free, but most can't handle it. For the chosen ones in the obsidian inner order, it's not just the truth, it's the whole cosmic download. No sugarcoating, no escape. Picture this: weekly group calls with 450 plus chosen ones, recorded and available anytime for your enlightenment. Our private Discord, it's not just active, it's alive, buzzing with ideas, breakthroughs, and that unstoppable chosen energy. Oh, and for you romantics out there, welcome to Chosen Singles, where soulmates meet under cosmic alignments, not cheap pickup lines. And for the seekers, dive into Modern Manifestation Mechanics, our exclusive grimoire, with 3 chapters available to members. Learn how to turn your home into an abundance magnet, master basic spellcraft for physical manifestation, and channel magical forces to elevate your goals. Plus, you'll get access to interviews with real targeted individuals and video specials so bold, the YouTube archons don't even want you to see them. This is more than a membership, it's a movement. So what are you waiting for? Stop searching. Start ascending. The link is in the description. Their days are chaotic. Their mind is unraveling. But when the sun goes down, that's when the real torment begins. Because now, even sleep has turned against them. They toss and turn, hoping for rest, hoping that exhaustion will grant them peace. But peace no longer belongs to them. They jolt awake, again, heart pounding, skin damp with sweat. The room is silent, but something feels off. They tell themselves it's just a bad dream, just stress, just an overactive mind. But deep down, they know. They are not alone. The air feels heavier, the walls seem closer, every shadow moves differently now. They hear whispers, soft and distant at first. They shake it off, blame it on the wind, on the house settling, on their own mind playing tricks on them, but the sounds don't stop. The whispers turn into murmurs. The murmurs turn into laughter. Low, mocking, relentless. They check their phone, 3:33 a.m. every night, without fail. It's not a coincidence. They sit up, eyes scanning the darkness. But there is nothing to see. Because this is not a physical presence haunting them. This is spiritual judgment taking form. The same way they tried to control your reality, their own reality is now turning against them. They created illusions to confuse you. Now they can't tell what's real and what isn't. They whispered lies in the dark. Now the dark whispers back. They wanted power. Now they are powerless against forces they can't escape. Sleep used to be their escape, but now their own subconscious has turned into a battlefield. They will beg for the silence they once took for granted. But silence will never come, because what they did to you has already been written into their fate, and there is no waking up from this. It starts where they least expect it, with the people they once controlled. The friends they manipulated, gone. Conversations grow shorter. Texts go unanswered. The people who once clung to their every word now avoid them, slipping away without confrontation, without drama, just a quiet, steady retreat. The lovers they deceived, cold, distant, unmoved. Where once there was admiration, now there is indifference. The spark they relied on has died. No fights, no cheating scandals, just a sudden loss of interest, as if their presence alone has become draining. They sense it happening, but they don't know how to stop it. They try harder, they reach out, they play the same mind games, use the same manipulation tactics that worked before. But nothing works anymore. The people they once controlled see them differently now. They aren't feared. They aren't admired. They are tolerated, and barely that. And just when they think they can rebuild, another hit comes. Their career starts slipping. The promotion they were banking on, gone. The opportunities that once came easily, vanish into thin air. The same tactics they used to climb higher, backstabbing, deception, calculated networking, now turn against them. They start making mistakes. Big ones. Deals fall through, projects crumble, important connections go cold. No one trusts them anymore. Their name, once spoken with respect, or at least strategic fear, now carries an unshakable stain. They don't know why. They still don't see it. They think it's bad luck, a rough patch, a temporary setback. You know exactly what's happening. The same way they tried to isolate you, they are now being left alone. The same way they blocked your opportunities, their own doors are slamming shut. Every move they made against you is now moving against them. One by one, the pieces fall. Their life, once carefully crafted, is now a slow, steady collapse. They thought they were untouchable. Now, they can't hold on to anything. And this is just the beginning. They used to be comfortable, confident, untouchable. Money flowed in, their plans unfolded effortlessly, and every risk they took seemed to pay off. They operated like nothing could stop them, moving money, securing opportunities, playing the system in their favor. The cracks are showing. At first, it's subtle, a minor inconvenience, an unexpected expense, just enough to be annoying. Then, it starts happening more often. A bill they forgot about suddenly drains their account. A car repair pops up out of nowhere. An investment they were sure would double flops. A payment they were expecting never comes. And just like that, the losses keep stacking. No matter how much they try to manage it, their bank account tells a different story. It's never enough. They tighten their grip, convinced they can fix it. Work harder, hustle more, shift things around. But the more they chase stability, the further it slips from their grasp. Money enters their hands, only to disappear before they can hold on to it. They think it's bad luck. Maybe an off year. Maybe a poor financial decision here and there. You know the truth. They stole from you. Maybe not in cash, but in energy, opportunities, trust. They profited off your suffering, took advantage of your generosity, robbed you of things money can't buy, and now the universe is collecting its debt. Every dollar they took through deception returns to them in misfortune. Unexpected breakdowns drain their savings. Fraudulent charges pull from their accounts. Emergencies come back to back, forcing them to scramble. The financial stability they once had, gone. They thought they could take from you and walk away untouched, but nothing taken unjustly is ever truly theirs to keep. Now they are watching it all slip away. No matter how much they earn, it will never stay. At first, they pretend nothing is wrong. They push through, brushing off every setback, every loss, every sleepless night. They tell themselves it's temporary, that things will turn around. But deep down, they feel it. Something is wrong. They can't name it, they can't prove it, but it lingers, an unease that won't leave them, a shadow that stretches over their every move. The confidence they once had, gone. The control they once felt, shattered. Their mind turns against them. Every decision is met with hesitation. Every risk feels dangerous. Every moment of silence is filled with the question they don't want to ask. Did I make the wrong move? They replay their past, searching for the moment it all started falling apart. They analyze their choices, looking for someone, anyone, to blame. They wonder if someone is cursing them, if an enemy is plotting against them, if there's some unseen force working to destroy them. But they refuse to admit the truth. The curse is self-inflicted. They are not suffering because someone else is attacking them. They are suffering because they moved against you. They thought their betrayal would be forgotten, that their actions would be just another move in the game. But the moment they interfered with your path, they set their own destruction in motion. The signs are everywhere. They misplace things. They forget important details. They feel watched, judged, haunted by something they can't describe. Their relationships have soured. Their money is vanishing. Their plans keep crumbling. It's not coincidence. It's not paranoia. It's consequence. And it's only getting worse. Because once the mind breaks, nothing else can hold together. They thought they were untouchable. Now they fear their own shadow. They thought they were in control. Now they don't trust their own thoughts. They thought they could bury the past, but the past is burying them. And then it happens. The mighty realization. The moment they can't outrun the truth anymore. They tried to ignore the signs, told themselves it was all a coincidence, convinced themselves that their losses, their setbacks, their unraveling had nothing to do with what they did to you. But then they see you, rising, thriving, untouched. While they sink, you ascend. While they lose, you gain. While they suffer in silence, you move with ease, and it eats them alive. Their ego tells them to dismiss it, to pretend it doesn't matter, that you don't matter, but their soul knows. They mocked you when you were at your lowest, laughed when you struggled, thought it was funny when you were searching for answers, looking for healing, trying to make sense of the pain they caused you. Now, they are the ones searching for peace, for clarity, for an escape from the consequences of their own actions. And when nothing else works, they reach out. They always do. At first, it's subtle, a casual message, a random check-in, a vague attempt at conversation as if the past never happened. But you know why they're here. They don't want forgiveness. They want relief. They want to ease their suffering, to be freed from the weight of their own destruction. They think that if you just acknowledge them, just speak to them, just offer a drop of your energy, their torment will end. You are not their escape route. You don't hold their salvation. That's between them and the divine. And no amount of apologies, sincere or not, can erase what has already been set in motion, because their reckoning has only just begun. They thought they could fix it. They thought they could come back, rewrite the past, manipulate their way into a different outcome. But this is beyond you now. This is no longer about apologies, second chances, or last-minute attempts at redemption. It is out of your hands. They spent so much time playing with fate, never thinking it would turn against them. But the divine forces have already moved. The verdict has been sealed. They will suffer the weight of their own actions. They could repent. They could cry. They could beg on their knees for mercy. But some doors will never reopen. Because the universe doesn't just correct. It doesn't just balance. It removes. And the greatest punishment they will ever face isn't losing you. It's losing themselves. They will never be who they were before they crossed you. Something inside them has shifted. The confidence they once carried diminished. The energy they once moved with drained. The control they once had scattered beyond repair. There is no reversing this. No matter what they do, they can't undo what's been done. They can feel it every day. The emptiness, the unease, the missing piece they can't name. They thought they had power over you, thought they had the upper hand, thought they could take from you and never pay the price. But the universe does not forget, and now neither will they. They thought they were destroying you, thought they could manipulate, sabotage, betray without consequence. But you were never the one at risk. They were. From the moment they interfered with your path, their fate was sealed. Every lie, every scheme, every attempt to bring you down became the blueprint of their own downfall. You never needed revenge. You never did. You didn't have to lift a finger, didn't have to curse them, expose them, or waste energy trying to make them suffer. Because the moment they came against you, they did it to themselves. Now they are trapped in the very hell they created. It follows them, unshakable, unrelenting, unforgiving. You stand untouched, elevated, untethered from the destruction they set in motion. This is not coincidence. This is divine order. The chosen ones do not fall. The question now is, have you seen it happen? Have the ones who moved against you begun to face their reckoning? Drop your experience below. Let them know that fate does not forget. They always pay.